I realize I act neurotically on a lovely morning, too bad. I realize I act neurotically, and I've had psychotherapy, but the neurosis is still basically there. What can I do? I realize I act neurotically. I've had psychotherapy, but the neurosis is still basically there. What can I do? I wonder how many of us are sane, rational, clear-headed, objective, not always moving in our own self-centered interest. How many of us are free to look at ourselves? If I am neurotic, that is odd behavior, violent, which is neuroticism, always depending on my lawyers, insurance, doctors, government, always relying on others, which are all parts of that neurotic sense of incompleteness. Would we admit to that even? Would we be aware of ourselves, how extraordinarily we are dependent on everybody? And we're not talking of the dependence on a postman, on the man who helps with the petrol, gas. Or the policeman and so on. But this feeling that one must depend, one must have identity, independence. The search for identity, which is a fulfillment, to have roots in something or other. I wonder how one wonders how deeply we are aware of all this. All that is part of neurosis, part of our peculiar, abnormal behavior which has become very normal. Could we look at ourselves as if in a mirror which doesn't distort, which shows exactly what you're looking at? Could we do that? Not depend on psychotherapy or any other form of system of belief or escape, but actually look at ourselves, not withdraw ourselves in order to look, but look at ourselves in our relationship, in our behavior, the way we speak, the way we walk, the way we look at the beauty of a hill. Is that all possible? Never distorting what we see. Isn't it far more important to observe what is rather than what should be? We're also idealistically inclined, that we never see actually what's going on. Our eyes are towards the horizon, but never very close. And why has the whole world become like this? Please ask these questions. Why do we go to somebody if we are in trouble? Why can't we face the trouble, look at it, not analytically, not find the cause of it, that appears to be a waste of time, but just to look at it. And in that perception, the cause, the consequences, the whole movement is revealed. You please do this as we're talking together. And if one is neurotic, I don't know in what sense one uses the word, perhaps the whole world is neurotic, because they're all preparing for war, conflict, tremendous ambition, competition, trying to deceive somebody, corrupt. Whole world has become like this. Corruption seems to be not only the high places, in the ordinary daily life, corruption seems to have become the norm of life. And perhaps that may be the source of this neuroticism. And what can one do? What can I do if I perceive for myself actually that I'm neurotic? Not somebody tells me I'm neurotic. But if I find my behavior is peculiar, utterly self-centered, utterly selfish, that I'm very emotional, there is no balance. I perceive all that helping to bring about this a quality of mind which is contradictory, which is in conflict, which is never straight. What shall I do? That's what the questioner asks. Certainly, if I have that kind of problem, that kind of neurosis, I certainly would not go to an analyst, psychotherapy, because the analyst needs also to be analyzed. So what shall I do? That's a question put before all of us. What is the crisis that makes me aware that I'm neurotic? Something must make me aware of it. Either somebody tells me, my wife, my husband, my friend, or I observe what I am doing. I observe whether it is natural. Again, that word is very difficult. Complex word, natural. Whether I'm a little bit odd in the head. Modern world, with all its problems, is making people very strange, superficial, wanting to be entertained endlessly. Can I acknowledge my neuroticism and observe it, not try to change it, not try to say I must become sane, I must become normal, I must be something else, but to observe it as it is, and which means giving attention. But a neurotic person may not be able to give attention. I may not be capable of giving my whole mind, my heart, to look at myself. Because one of my neurotic behaviors, I can't look at myself. I don't like what I see. I get depressed at what I see, or terribly elated. But without elation and without depression, without any kind of distortion, can I, as a neurotic person, look at myself? Because I'm neurotic, I can't look at myself so clearly. So I depend on somebody to tell me what to do. You see the problem? I'm incapable of looking at myself rationally, sanely, intelligently, with sensitive awareness. And so I have to go to somebody to tell me what to do. I think asking another to tell me what to do is the essence of neuroticism. Right? I know you will probably disagree, but especially in this country, and it's spreading all over the world, that we are looking to specialists, to the authority, to tell us what to do. So I remain neurotic, and I'm always depending on somebody. So can I look at myself, though I'm neurotic, watch myself, watch everything alertly, not in a self-centered way, which is a form of neuroticism, just watch. Watch what I'm saying. See, this demands quite a different kind of education. The education that encourages self-education. Right? Am I making myself clear? Are we together sharing all this? Self-education, not the education according to somebody, but observing all the things I'm doing, thinking, feeling, and know their limitation, and find out whether the mind can ever be free from its limitation.